Hello, and welcome to, I guess, episode 111. Is that what this one is? This is not going to be a normal episode. This is just me guilting myself into going through all of this garbage behind me. So we're going to KonMari not even my stash really, just all my accumulated projects. So we are currently sitting in the room which will become my crafting room. Probably. So this is the formal dining room, but we have no use for a formal dining room. And so we have a formal dining room right here. And then right over there, we have a study. And so that has become Wesley's sort of computer room. And this is going to become my crafty room. And so, yeah, it's pretty empty right now. Hopefully it's not too echoey, but it's very empty right now. Basically, I have this stuff along the wall. I have a chest underneath the window, and I have my ironing board with an iron and my sewing machine over that way. But yeah, like this is a disaster, and that's what we're gonna get into. So let's do this. I feel like this is a little bit crooked. Oh no, I'm knocking everything over. Is that better? Maybe that was worse. I don't know. This is like another reason that so this crafty room is also going to become my podcasting room, and hopefully I can get rid of sort of stabilize my very janky setup and actually have like something which is easier to use. Because yeah, right now it's a mess, but that's not why we're here. So basically, I'm just going to go through all this stuff that's behind me piece by piece. And if you don't know, KonMari is, I don't know, I don't really subscribe to the KonMari thing, but it's like a phrase that a lot of people know, but Marie Kondo wrote this book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which I have not read, but I know the gist of it. And basically, her whole thing is like about how to organize your space in your life, and her thing, sort of the KonMari thing, is that you only keep things which bring you joy. I'm not necessarily sure that I subscribe to that, but basically I want to go through these projects and stuff behind me and sort of say, like, you know what, like, is this a thing that I really want to finish or not? Like, is this just a thing that I've been, procrastinating on frogging or, stuff like that, and like really go through things and sort through things and see what's left afterwards. So I basically will have a pile for in progress things. I'm gonna have a pile for, yes, I'm going to finish this, and the goal will be to finish it probably by the end of the year, because it's September now. Like, if I'm not gonna finish it by the end of the year, like, I'm not gonna finish it, right? So I'll have a pile for, I'm going to finish it and I'm gonna finish it soon. And I'll have a pile for like, this is gonna get frogged. And then I might have a pile for, like, if we get to my stash, like if this doesn't go too long and we get to my stash, maybe I'll have a pile for like, I'm gonna destash this, because like, I know I have some yarn in there, which I bought because I love it, but I don't know when I'm ever gonna use it, but we'll see if we get to that point. So let's just do this. Hopefully this doesn't get too long, for my own sake, at least. Okay, so we'll start with the thing which is closest to me. This is my Shifty. I talked about this on the last episode. This I definitely am planning on finishing. So this is going to start the pile here, let's say, just out of, it's going to start the pile on this side of me, which is, I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to finish it soon. All right, this guy is actually just some yarn, which needs to go back into my stash drawers rather than being in this little case. I traveled recently for work, and I wasn't sure how much knitting I was going to get done, so I took some extra yarn with me. Turns out I didn't need it, but I didn't want it to get all squished in my suitcase, so I put it in that little project bag. So, empty project bag, which I'll probably need because I have some things which are not in project bags because I'm awful. Okay. Next, this is sort of stashed, but this is some yarn that I just bought today. Well, some of it I just bought today. So I had this extra skein of this Brocco Ultra Wool Fine from my Mon Petit Gilet Ray. This is basically a full skein that I had left over of the gray. I went to my local yarn store, and they happen to actually have the exact same dye lot of this gray. So I picked up another skein of that and 2 skeins of black. I'm gonna make another Mon Petit Gilet Ray. So that's all the yarn for that. That is going to happen. I'm not entirely sure that that's going to be a before the end of the year project, but like that's definitely a thing that's going to happen. So that goes there. What is this? This is effectively another empty project bag. I was just storing some extra bits for my V-neck sweater in there. So these probably should get put somewhere else. For the time being, since I know what they are, I'll just throw them back in there. Okay, so what else? What's in here? This is another empty project bag. Great. I feel like I've been pulling things out of project bags and then just like not dealing with them, and my feet are hurting already from sitting on the floor. So I'm gonna go grab a blanket to sit on. I'll be right back. It's like we're having a picnic. Okay. So, what else? So this guy came out of a project bag, one of these project bags. This is a hat that I was making that I'm not even sure if I showed off on the podcast. I think I might have put a picture of it on Instagram. I have no clue. But it was a colorwork hat that I was making, and it's like sort of cute. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's also very puckery. I don't know if you guys can tell. So it's like I'm sort of torn on it because like it could be a cute slouchy hat, but I'm just feeling not great about it. So this one I think I might frog because like I really kind of want the yarn, and I'm just not entirely, you know, like I don't know. I was trying to do it just as like a sort of like let's work on my color work skills, and I'm not sure that I really succeeded. So this one I think is going to go in the frog pile because like it's not bringing me joy. So that will go over here, let's say. So I have a clear distinction between things that are gonna be kept and things that are not gonna be kept. Okay. Speaking of hats, this one I again found recently going through some of these project bags. This is my traveling cables hat by Pro Soho, and I love this, and I had sort of lost it. I had no clue where it had gone, and so I'm really glad that I found it. And this one I'm definitely going to finish. I think I actually took it off the needles that it was originally going to use those for something else, so I need to figure out where the needles went, and this I'm definitely going to finish. I'm not sure that I'll actually keep it for myself because it's Aran weight yarn, and like it's a little bit warm I think for me to wear here, but I definitely could send it like to my mom back in Minnesota or someone else. And definitely someone could get some wear out of it, and I really am excited to finish it. So that one is definitely going to get kept, and I want to get it finished. And I don't think it'll take very long either, because like I said, it's Aran weight yarn, so it's pretty heavyweight. What else? Ooh, needle away. Okay, so this is a whip that I keep going back and forth on. This is the staghorn socks that I was making. And so this was sort of a free chart that was posted by the Fussy Gusset. And I love them, but I'm not convinced that I would ever wear them because again, like it's so warm here that like, I honestly don't remember how much last winter I actually wore tall socks here. But I feel like I would rather use this yarn for something else because it's this really beautiful sort of, you know, speckled pink and green and purple yarn, and I just really love it, and I'd rather use it for something else. So I think this one is going to get frogged again. So what else have we got? Oh, big old basket full of stuff. Well, this is finished. I don't know. We'll put that in the thing to deal with later. What else? Okay, this is garbage. This was me playing around with steeking and it failed miserably. So this basically is literally garbage. What else? So this, I think these are actually the needles that came out of my traveling cables hat. And this was a copycat CC beanie that I started making actually for someone from my last job. So that tells you how long ago I started making this. And it's just made out of this, I think it's like Karen's Simply Soft Party yarn or something. It's 100% acrylic. Not to knock like 100% acrylic yarn, but it's not like super high quality yarn. And, you know, I had started making it for someone that I knew at my last job, and I thought I was going to finish it pretty quickly after moving and then send it to her. That didn't happen. It'll be probably about a year, you know, by the time I actually get it finished and sent to her. So I think this one is just going to get frogged, and I'll probably just, I don't know what I'll do with the yarn. But yeah, I think that one's gonna get frogged. So that's that. This is some fiber that I bought forever ago, back when I lived in Richmond. I went to, I think it's the Powhatan Festival of Fiber. This is from Shearsty Cat. I love her yarn. I bought the fiber thinking I was gonna learn how to spin. I still haven't learned how to spin. This is really probably something I should de-stash, but I was just today looking at buying a spinning wheel, so I think I'll keep this just until the end of the year. And you know what, if I haven't bought a spinning wheel, or I don't have plans to buy a spinning wheel by the end of the year, this will also have to go. But for now, it's going in the keep pile. Oh yeah, okay, here's the label for that. Acrylic yarn. Needles. So I normally try to keep all my needles in a little drawer in here. So yeah. This is those hand warmers that I made forever ago, and I just like never finished seaming this one. So that is a thing that I could easily get done. And then I'm not sure that I'll keep these for myself. I might give them to someone else, but I definitely, like, it's so close to being finished. I should just hurry up and finish that and do something with it. This is a little ball of yarn that should go in my drawer full of little balls of yarn. What else have we got in here? These are more little balls of yarn. So these are like some 20 gram minis. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I don't feel like I could in good conscience de-stash them, but I definitely have enough in here to make a pair of short socks. So those go back in there. What else? Another little ball of yarn that should go back in my little ball of yarn drawer. Another little ball of yarn. What is with me? Another little ball of yarn. What is my life? Okay. Little balls of yarn. Back in little ball of yarn drawer. Okay, another project. Oh, so this is Wesley's socks. I was making him a pair of dress socks. I started these forever ago, and then I never started the second one just because I got kind of bored, and I also didn't have any free size 1 needles. But if I'm gonna frog the staghorn socks, I will have a free set of needles, and I should finish these, so that will go into my keeping pile. Let's see, I have a bunch of yarn in here, which is for my granny stripe blanket, which, remember how I said I was gonna try and average a row a day on that this year? That didn't happen, but I do still want to finish that. So I'm gonna go, for the moment, I'm gonna put these in this project bag just so that I have all of them sort of contained. And then I'm gonna try and find a better home for that blanket, because like I had it in, well, it's in this basket right now, and this basket used to be sitting next to the couch at our old place to kind of contain my knitting stuff. And it's great for that, but I sort of just threw the blanket in loose, which is not, in practice, it turned out to not be a great way to store it, because like it's just, everything winds up tangled. So here's the blanket. So, okay, so that is definitely something that I would like to get back to. I was actually thinking that maybe for Advent this year I would try and do a row a day. Let's see, some Christmas stockings from last year. I never finished the last one, remember that from Vlogmas. Let's see if I have that yarn anywhere, but I should try and finish those, especially now that we have a fireplace and a mantle to hang them on. What do we got? This is poly pattern, the poly sweater. That should go back in. I have a binder where I keep all of my patterns. This is the shifty pattern, so that should go back in that binder as well, so it doesn't get all scrunched up. An envelope from my pen pal. Do I know where the letter from that is? No, maybe not. Hard to say. A bunch of wrappers. So many wrappers. Holy cow, so many wrappers. So many wrappers. Jeez. Disgusting. And then more tiny balls of yarn. Look at all those tiny balls of yarn. Those should definitely go back into the tiny ball of yarn drawer. All right, tiny balls of yarn. I've had to start a new tiny ball of yarn drawer. This is yarn that I use for dyeing, so that should probably go back with my dyeing supplies. highlighters and a measuring tape, sock ruler, and the hook for my granny stripe blanket. So this is now empty. So I'm gonna start piling back in my projects to get done, my keeping projects, except for, okay, yes. That'll go over there. What are we at? We're at 15 minutes? Good, we're going good. What else? Oh, so this is a package from someone who I need to get back to them. So this is little bits of yarn. I definitely need to deal with this. So that will go into the keeping pile. And I need to get a thank you note written. Okay. What else? Honey ball yarn. This is some DK weight yarn from a hat that I knit Wesley forever ago. I'm not really sure if there's enough here to do anything with it. And some leftover fingering weight yarn. This stuff I might just get rid of because it's like super old. And again, there's not enough there to really do anything with, so that might just kind of go over there in the trash pile. We have some, again, 100% acrylic yarn that I bought for a thing that I was going to do last holiday season and then never did. I don't really know what to do with this stuff. Maybe I'll like see if I can donate it to somewhere. Because like I feel bad, I never really used any of it, but I don't plan to use it. So that will go in the not keeping pile, but I'm gonna try and not just throw it away because that is bad. What else? Okay, what else is in here? Okay, so this is some fabric. Oh, how cute was this fabric? So this is some fabric that I bought from Joann Fabrics, and I made myself a little crop top out of it, except like it's not a very good crop top, and it's definitely not wearable. Like it is like down to here. It's super short. But this is mostly sewing stuff, I think. That's sewing stuff. That's sewing stuff. That is sewing stuff. This is a giant knitting needle. But the rest of this is all sewing stuff. Sorry about all the rustling. So I think I will shove this over towards the sewing machine. What else? All right. This, I think, is projects. So this is my first poly sweater, which like, I don't really know what to do about this because it doesn't fit terribly well. And I made the sleeves on it super short to the point where like, they don't actually keep me warm at all. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Like, I'm kind of sentimental about it, but like, if I'm not going to wear it, like why keep it? This is the second poly sweater, which this one I actually probably should try and work into my wardrobe more because like it's got 3/4 length sleeves, but like it does fit. So this one I think was in this bag because it needs to get washed and it's like so blue that like I can't wash it with anything else. So like this one I should just wash and then work into my wardrobe. So that one will go back in the bag. I think that's the same reason these are in here, is these are some socks that I made, which again have to be washed by themselves. And so they were probably just in this bag so they didn't get thrown in with the regular laundry. I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna hang on to it for sentimental reasons right now, and then eventually I'll probably wind up just getting rid of it. But all of that needs to go back into the closet to get washed. What else have I got? Okay, this is more fiber. Let's see. I think this is some like wool of the Andes that I tried dyeing. I don't even know. I don't know if I felted it. I don't know what happened to it. It's, maybe that's spinnable. And then I also have some Knit Picks stroll roving that I never dyed. So I think I'll hang on to that again under the premise that I'm going to get a spinning wheel. And if I don't get a spinning wheel, I need to find someone else to give this to, because there's no reason for me to hang on to it forever if I'm not going to do anything with it. So that will go with the other fiber and we'll see what happens with that. What else? What is this? But cramp. Owie. Okay, what is this? So this is that stocking that I threw over there earlier. Oh, Here's the rest of the stuff to make the last stocking that I started in Advent of last year. Empty project bag, a shawl, which again probably needs to get washed. And then the rest of this is cords of various natures, so not even knitting stuff. All right. I feel like we're making some progress. I feel like I expected there to be more projects in general. Like, I feel like I was feeling very overwhelmed as to like how many things were sitting in here. What are we at? We're at 20 minutes. You guys want me to de-stash my yarn stuff or kind of go through my yarn stuff? Let's go through the yarn stuff. It'll be a good state of the stash, right? I feel like I like to do that every so often just because it's good to hold myself accountable. You know, it helps me sort of sort through what's going on. So I've been keeping all my yarn in drawers in these sort of plastic drawer thingies. So I have the ones like this that have the big drawers, and then I have the other one right there, which has the sort of smaller drawers. So what's in here? So this is empty needles because the needles are on here. Oh, this is, I guess, another project that should get frogged. So this was the poly. That was the reason I had that poly pattern out. I started this. I don't think I'm going to continue knitting it, so this should definitely get frogged, and I probably need to rewash the yarn. Let's see. This is some of that neon BFL that I was making those knee socks out of. This should probably also get washed because it's all crinkly. So that will go into the frog pile just so that I remember to wash it. This is another skein of that, but this one never got used, so I'll leave that. I have a skein of this sort of chartreuse Knit Picks Fleechy. I think I have another skein of this in the other drawer, so that is something that needs to get dealt with. This is a skein of, it's a 75-25 Superwash Merino nylon, but it's not Fleechy. But this one I frogged from something else. I think I frogged my rose candy a while ago. So this one and this one both came from that. So this one probably, well, both of these should get washed. So these also, I should go ahead and reskein and wash. This is a skein of Knit Picks Fleechy in a green. Let's see, I have some leftovers from my first Mon Petite Gillet Ray. I have some black yarn that I've had forever and I just use little bits out of. I have some more Knit Picks Fleechy in pink. I have some Knit Picks Fleechy in this sort of sand colorway. So that's that drawer. What else? Okay, here's another. So this is, I think, these are the only two drawers of yarn in this container. So let's see, I have these. These are for, well, actually all three of these are for the pullover that I'm making. So these should probably just get separated out. But for now, they're gonna go in here, and I just kind of know that those are on hold. Okay, so I have a second skein of that chartreuse and a second skein of that green Fleechy. I will probably wind up making a sweater out of these two together. I don't know, they're kind of cute together. So those will go in this drawer too. Let's fill this drawer up, squish it all in. Let's see, I have another skein of that pink Fleechy and another skein of mauve Fleechy. I don't know what's going to happen with those, but I know I'll use them. So then we come to the skeins that I'm sort of like, what am I going to do with these? Like, these are the possible de-stash skeins. So I have this skein of Ella Ray Lace Merino. This is 100% Superwash Merino, and it's this really beautiful sort of pink, purple, fun, bright colorway, but I only have one skein of it. It's really variegated. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm tempted to make just like a sock head hat out of it, because like, as much as like knitwear is not super useful here in Alabama, I did wear the heck out of my sock head hat last year because it's like just the right weight for like when it's a little bit chilly here. So maybe this will become a sock head hat. I don't know. This is a skein that I've held on to forever. This is one that I dyed. It's called Juliet is the Sun, and I really love it in the skein, but I've never knit it up because again, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I should make like a really cute lacy beanie out of it. Like, again, it kind of seems like a hat yarn more than a sock yarn. It is 75-25, but it's like a 2-ply, and it's more of a delicate 2-ply. So like this one should either become a hat or to get de-stashed. I'm not really sure. This one is one that I picked up when Wesley was living in New Hampshire, which is why I'm really like hesitant to part with it. It's this really beautiful autumnal colorway. Again, maybe I'll make a hat out of this. I probably should just make a hat out of it because it's 100% merino, so it's like I can't really do socks out of it, but it's like so beautiful, and it's sort of like a memory of that time that he spent up there, and it's like I kind of want to hang on to it. Then I have this yarn. This is one of my more recent acquisitions. This one is from the Knitting Tree, I think is where I bought it, out in LA. When I was out there for work one time. It's just really bright and fun and colorful. This one I'll probably just make into socks because it's a sock yarn. So I might maybe I'll try and squeeze 2 pairs of short socks out of this. And then I'll probably try and do a similar thing with this. This is some yarn that I picked up forever ago from the local yarn store. It's Reigns Obsessive Stitchery, and the colorway is Huntsville, and it's based off the colors of the Saturn V rocket. This one, again, I'm thinking I'll probably just try and make 2 pairs of short socks out of and just use up all of it because I really like it and it'd be fun to have something like that, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So that's that for what's in the stash that's in the big drawers. If I can get this back in. And then I have my drawer full of small balls and apparently also juggling ball. Go figure. Some of these probably need to get washed because they're all crinkly, but that's a lot of work and I just don't want to do that right now. But yeah, these I basically just use, some of them there's enough here to make like 1 short sock. I've been thinking about, going back to that idea of just making like single short socks and just having a box full of random mismatched short socks. So maybe that's what I'll do with some of these. I really should get around to doing that. And then I have my thankfully dwindling supply of 50-gram balls of sock yarn. So I have 3 balls of Felici still in the Material Girl, Spooky, and Harvest colorways. And I really should, here's those. I really should knit up the Spooky and the Harvest, given that now it's fall. And then I have a skein of Patent Square in the Clover colorway, and this is, I think, a Deborah Norville Serenity sock. And I just picked this up today. This is the Lion brand Mani Petty. And I found this at Giant Fabrics. I think it's a new yarn, or it's a new yarn line from Lion brand. And it was $5 for a 50-gram skein. I'm super excited to try it. I mean, like, those colors. So that one's going in there. That's probably gonna be the next pair of socks I try and knit up because I really wanna see how that yarn works up. What else? And then, let's see. Like I said, these will probably become some short socks. This is that same BFL base as like the knee socks and the start of the poly, so I need to figure out what to do with that. This is some hand spun yarn that was gifted to me by my pen pal. This is 162 yards of DK, so this will probably become a hat. What else? That's basically it. And then I just have some random little balls that I threw in there. So I guess it's not quite as bad as I thought, but I need to come up with some plans to like use some of this yarn because like I have a lot of these sort of like single skeins that I dyed up forever ago, and I don't really know what to do with them. So I need to just decide what I'm going to do with them and then do it. Yeah, I wish I knew more people who knit socks because I would gladly like gift it to them, like people that I know in real life. Because like I kind of don't want to spend a bunch of money mailing a bunch of this stuff off. At the same time, like I don't want to just sit here and go to waste. So this is the dilemma. But I do feel slightly better now. I feel like I have a little bit more of a handle on what's going on here. Sort of. I don't know. I don't know if that comes across at all on the video. I don't know if this was at all a useful video for anyone or if anyone even enjoyed watching this, but yeah, if you stuck with me through all of this, thanks. I will probably try and follow up about this at the end of the year, and we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see along the way how many of these sort of like, I'm going to keep them, and if I don't finish them by the end of the year kinds of things, we'll see what happens with those. But yeah, if I forget to follow up on it, let me know, and I will definitely try and do that. But I guess that's going to be it. Thanks very much for watching this very strange video. Oh, so anyway, really quick before I go. So like I mentioned, this is going to eventually be sort of my podcasting space. So what I was thinking is this wall here, because it's nicely sort of lit by the window, since I don't have any other like studio lighting, I think this wall is where I'm going to try and sort of put my setup. And I'm gonna basically try and have sort of like a cute chair and end table and like a little painting to go above it. Like it's gonna be super cute and super artificially cute. Like it's not going to be a useful space at all, but I guess watch this space, because hopefully soon this will be transformed into sort of my beautiful YouTube corner, and we'll have like a nice sort of set where I can come and record, and I can have my, you know, camera and microphone and stuff all set up, and it will not be such a huge hassle to do it every time. But anyway, that really is going to be it for me today. Thanks very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.